Let's bring you some pictures now from Los Angeles in the United States. It is very dark there, but what we are showing you are pictures of protesters in LA marching along, this in the wake of the verdict of the Hispanic Neighborhood Watch volunteer George Zimmerman, who was cleared of the murder of Trayvon Martin, an unarmed black teenager.
Rising to his feet, George Zimmerman waited for his future.
We, the jury, find George Zimmerman not guilty.
Blinked once, twice, he was free.
Juror B76, is this your verdict? Yes.
After a quick poll of the jury measured emotion from Zimmerman's family and friends, hugs and kisses, thanks to the defense team. His wife wiped tears. Moments later, Zimmerman was gone. So too the ankle monitor tracking him for a little more than a year.
Prosecutors had set out to show Zimmerman as a vigilante, fed up with break-ins throughout his area, who followed and confronted Martin despite already having called the police, who'd told him to back off. Zimmerman's lawyers, however, said he'd only acted in self-defense after the teenager turned on him and attacked.
Start with a Fox News alert. George Zimmerman
is found not guilty.
Not guilty.
Not guilty. George Zimmerman is a free man this morning.
The latest American show trial was as divisive as it was compelling. Almost everyone has a view. Almost all of those views are slightly different.
I mean, a lot of people just need to, go back and study law and see what they, you can't just go on somebody's property and feel like, everything's okay.
That wasn't his property, though.
No,
that was like...
It was a housing complex.
Yeah,
housing
people
complex.
could walk through there. That's like if I was to walk through there and you walk through there, he's not going to say nothing to you, but he'll say something to me.
The first demonstrations stretched from east coast to west, but each involved hundreds rather than thousands of people.
The verdict has been condemned by civil rights activists who claim the neighborhood watchman was being racist when he shot dead a black teenager he wrongly thought was a criminal. The case has sparked a fierce debate in the country about what's known as racial profiling.
I have a child, I have a black child growing up in New York City, and I felt as if I had to kind of get out of my house today and, motivate the household and get everyone out to come and show a presence, some evidence of resistance, some evidence of our displeasure.
If that had been a white boy who would have been murdered, then a black guy who had murdered him, would they have acquitted him? Hell no. He'd have been to jail for life and then some. 150 years, 200 years, however many years they could get. So I just think it was an injustice. That's all I'm saying.
So much racism inherent in America and our judicial system. People are upset, communities are upset, people don't feel safe with their kids on the streets. For black children, for all of our children, it's important that we're out here, and that's why I'm out here.
Trayvon Martin could have been my son, and he could have been anybody's son. And so I knew it was wrong. It's just I had to come out and show my support for the family and for all the people who have lost their children unjustifiably due to these type of circumstances.
Remember, Trayvon, as Sabrina always said, could have been your son, could have been my baby, could have been anyone in America's baby, just walking to the store and coming back with Skittles and iced tea. Things do happen in life, but sometimes it's not fair. It's just not.
We just keep our faith. That's what's going to keep us strong and keep us peaceful, so we have peace in our spirit, peace in our mind, so that we can just continue on. But we don't want this to happen to anyone else again. There's no reason for this to happen to any other families. No one should have to go through this.
President Barack Obama added to the calls for calm in the wake of the verdict. A White House statement read in part, "I now ask every American to respect the call for calm reflection from two parents who lost their young son. And as we do, we should ask ourselves if we're doing all we can to widen the circle of compassion and understanding in our own communities." Civil rights leaders say George Zimmerman violated federal civil rights laws by profiling Trayvon Martin before the shooting. The U.S. Department of Justice issued a statement on Sunday regarding the Zimmerman case. It read, "We have an open investigation into the death of Trayvon Martin. We will continue to evaluate the evidence generated during the federal investigation, as well as the evidence and testimony from the state trial."